Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here. Welcome back to Union Cross. We're talking about Dark Baymax. It's just coming out tonight. JP got it yesterday. Most of you guys already know what it does, but if you don't, I'm going to go over the banner, the two different banners they have, the medal itself, comparing it, and telling you guys if it's worth it or not. But in the end, don't forget, it's your choice according to your account. Don't take everyone's advice. One person might not need it, but then you'll need it. I'm just going to give you guys some examples of why I think or to pull it or not to pull it kind of deal. So let's jump in and look at the banner that is currently here. This is the Twitter announcement from Union Cross, and they're showing the banner before it hits the game, and you can see there's two different ones. One's non-VIP, that's the grayed out one, and the colorful one that really gets your attention, that's the VIP one. It is mercy pull of 5 compared to 10, so if you don't buy VIP to 10 mercy pull, which is good. I know it's like, oh my god, VIP, they get it easier. They are paying cash, you know what I mean? That's what VIP is. But there's a mercy pull for this where there wasn't, at least I don't think there was a mercy pull for Sora. Okay, there was kind of a mercy pull, but like I remembered, it wasn't that great. It's a 1 out of 3 chance for VIP to get in a 5 mercy. You either got Powered Sora, KR 20, or Blitzform Sora, and non-VIP was 10 mercy for a 1 out of 3 chance. So the banners have definitely improved from then, because it's just Baymax alone and no other medals to go for it. So if you do that 10 mercy pull, 30,000 jewels, boom, you got it. 5 mercy pull VIP, 15,000 jewels, boom, you got it. Unless the banners start with 2,700 instead of 3,000, mine's 300 then. So banner wise, banners are great. I like to see these banners. 5 mercy pull, 10 mercy pull. If you've been saving jewels and you want a specific medal, you can go all out and just go for it. So these banners are good. Both of them come with Baymax 1 trait per pull, and the only difference is pretty much the 2 Kingdom Hearts 3 medals per pull, or the 4, and obviously half the mercy pull. So banner wise, cool. I like it. I like it. Medal wise, I like the art. It's cool. Let's talk about the medal itself. So I'm looking through the JP notices right now because it's not coming out for another 3 hours from this recording to global. So there's no banners except for the ones you saw there, or notice to put that into context as well too. So let's jump in and let's talk about the medal. The medal is basically Pirate Sora, just a reverse power version. So where does it fit? If you guys don't know what Pirate Sora does, basically Pirate Sora, I can show you on Cook's Tracker. Right over here is Pirate Sora. Basically the same exact thing. For 1 turn, minus 15 defense. This is overwrite, upright and reverse, and PSM defense by 15. So maxed out defense down for everything. No matter what you're doing, you're pretty much capping out on your defense down. Not the enemies. You're not debuffing the enemy. You're debuffing the player. So you have no defenses, no chance of tanking. This is good. And it's bad, not really, because you get one-shotted by enemies anyways. There is going to be certain situations where, yes, you don't want to put your defense down, but then there's other situations where, yes, you do because of anti-aqua or any future medal like itself, where it can actually help you pass through an event. So medals like this do have a place for that, but it is pretty much what this does. If there is one enemy, it's got a huge multiplier of 64.60. We are talking about Dark Baymax. I know I'm showing you parts over here, but it hasn't been updated yet on Cook's Tracker. So yeah, this medal right here, 50,000 strength, that is its key thing and why these medals so important for damage, and 64.60. This is the selling point for this medal. Same thing with Pirate Sora. So these two are exactly the same, but if there's one enemy, it's 64.60 multiplier with 50,000 strength. If not, if it's a group, he's doing 3.80, and it's like the smallest multiplier you can have on a beefy medal like this. 50,000 strength means nothing if your multiplier is 3.80. You're going to tickle the enemy. So that is the downfall. He has to have a single enemy, but it's not really a downfall when most of the time you're facing like big bosses like Hades by himself, the organization, one enemy's in, like you saw in the high score challenge, where they're just one boss, the monkey, the queen bee, and then the other 2 that I didn't know was in the room. Oh, these are the last 2 enemies. This is so good. Anyways, so in a group, not good. Coliseum, you have to find a single target enemy or he's not going to do that great either. There was other stuff that Pirate Sora definitely helped in. It was definitely like, ooh, with Pirate Sora, I could cheese this. With Pirate Sora and Anti-Aqua, I could cheese this. Was it necessary? No. The rest of the players also beat those quests in their own way. There was an easier way with it, but they beat it in their own way depending on the account. Now for Supernova, he does require restore 5 gauges, and this is important because this medal does consume 30 gauges. So no matter what you do, if you put attack boost max 10, SP gauge 0, he's going to take 30 gauges. It doesn't matter what you do. So unless your Keyblade has like 39 gauges on it, you're going to just drop out to 0. So it's pretty hard to get that unless all your medals have gauge +2 on it, and that's a different story. So Unless in the future they make our Keyblades more gauges, and the metals like Pirate Sora and Baymax become more relevant. But anyways, we're talking about the present. The present right now is that it consumes all your gauges, so it has to sit on the end of a Keyblade. So it's got a couple downfalls already, just like Pirate Sora. It's got AoE. No, it has to be a single target enemy. If it's a group, it's not going to do anything. It has to be in a situation where it's at the end of your Keyblade and it consumes all your gauges. So you better make sure that your first buffing metal has extra attack, or many metals on that Keyblade have gauge restore, because you got to come back to him. If he doesn't have 9 gauges, he won't activate. And if he does have more than 9 gauges, all those other gauges are gone. So he is a very powerful metal. I'm not putting down these metals at all, but my main concern here is that none of us have really needed it, like Pirate Sora, to pass the content. Now, people did pass the content because of Pirate Sora. I'm not saying that Pirate Sora wasn't useful. It definitely was, and like I said, there was cheesing along with it with Anti-Aqua that definitely does that, but there was other ways to use Anti-Aqua with Nominate and stuff like that too. So, is this a huge pull? Do you have to go for it? It's Baymax. For me personally, if I had the jewels on my main account, I would go for a free-to-play account. I can't do stuff like that. But both of them are pretty much free-to-play, so it doesn't really matter in my case. I would love to pull for the medal, but Pirate Sora has come back many, many times. He's actually come back in a deal tonight in that Supernova deal. There's a chance of getting Pirate Sora in that deal, so Baymax will come back. The point is here, as you pull for this banner, you get Baymax plus a trait medal every pull, and there's probably going to be an avatar board too. And if there isn't, it's one pull trait, which is pretty heavy, but you'll see more of those avatar 3 traits, 1500 jewels in the future, so I wouldn't go pull crazy on him, but traits are important. So, like I was saying, polar skip, it's a skip for me personally. I do recommend people to skip it, but at the same time, if you're someone who buys VIP, 15,000 jewels for a powerful metal isn't that bad. It's actually really, really good, especially a brand new metal. But as you guys saw with Pirate Sora, you don't really need this much strength to pass the content yet. Our huge mono Keyblade multipliers along with attack boost 10 maxes and the right traits get you through the content quite easily, but this might become the norm eventually. But when it does, there'll probably be something better than it at that point, so you don't have to go for this right now. This just is a guaranteed way to get it. It's a mercy pull. I don't know if it's going to come back as a mercy pull again for just its metal or in a 1 out of 10 chance, you know what I mean? But if you guys are pulling for this metal, also keep a note. Let me pop this up really quick. Let me close this and open this. So if you guys are pulling for this metal, take a note that the Keyblades that he's going to fit on are very limited, unless you're going for the pet slot, and the pet slot is also limited on its Keyblade multiplier. Some people have high Keyblade multipliers, but not as much as mono Keyblades have, one color. So first one, Starlight. If you put Baymax here, you're literally going buffer, attacker, buffer have extra attack, or you might be copying your buffer, who knows. But Baymax comes over here, takes 30 gauges. If you don't have a way to restore your gauges every turn, because it takes more than 1 turn to beat an enemy, Starlight is out of the question. Treasure Trove works out actually good. Mono Keyblade 7.113, but again, takes 30 gauges, so your pet slot, whatever metal's in your pet slot, better be a 0 costing metal, like a copycat metal that costs 0, so a copy of metal in front of it, or it restores gauges with Supernova, so you have to have 3 metals with Supernova gauge restore to make those 3 turns. But you're pretty much looking at putting these metals in the end, and whatever metals after that has to have a way to gauge restore, because there will be no gauges on those Keyblades. If you look at Keyblade, the Treasure Trove over here has 18 gauges with nothing on it. So you do need to worry about that. So Treasure Trove does work. Olympia, second slot, all your gauges gone. There's ways around that. You could go buffer, Baymax, buffer, and then your attacking metals. That could work. Buffer, Baymax. There's ways around it, but like, do you really want to do that to your Keyblade? Especially when certain quests go like, you can only use upright, you can only use reversed, or you're going to heal the enemy or damage the enemy or reflect damage to yourself, and then you're put in a weird position because, let's say, oh yeah, I have this metal that restores gauges with Supernova or does this, but then the quest denies you to take care of your Baymax, and Baymax is one of your strongest. I hate metals that have a condition this much. I really don't like them, but at the same time, there is ways around it. But back to the Keyblades, you got the Moogle Glory, third slot. Again, not ideal. So far, we've only looked at the Treasure Trove, looking pretty good. Come down to the Stroke of Midnight, final slot. Stroke of Midnight works. Treasure Trove, Stroke of Midnight, it does work. But again, the best place you want to put it is over here. And then we come down to Fenrir, which is the 4th slot. So not ideal, but more manageable than 2nd or 3rd. and then you go to Dark Now, which is definitely where you want to put this metal. 7.713 is such a good multiplier. Again, pet slot's only 6.213. These mono keyblades have huge damage, so it does fit here, but then you got to worry about your pet slot and your friend metal to make sure they have enough gauges. So again, these metals are cool. 4 slot over here, not ideal, but can be manageable. It's just, what do you really do with this? Bad Guy Breaker, 5.675. Looks good. 5th slot. So you do have 1 choice, 2 choices. You got 3 choices, 4 choices for keyblades, and then everything else after that, you don't want to put it too early into the keyblade. So that's one of the issues I have with these metals, that they have to be on the pet slot. Really good friend metals, because it's the last metal you cast, so it doesn't matter. Just make sure you have 9 gauges when you get there. So definitely a good friend metal, because when you come back, your buffer restores gauges. Other metals have attack boost XP gauge 0 on them, or 1, and then you're okay. But if they don't, then you run that issue. You don't have 9 gauges for the end. So he's got a couple of issues, and I really wish he didn't, because I like these metals. 50,000 strength can get you through so much content if you have multiple metals like that. It's just getting through that gauge issue. Now, I don't know if there's going to be metals in the future to complement these metals, or they're just saying, hey, this much strength needs a consequence. Boom. There's another metal that's actually like that, where it has a consequence. If we go back to like cookstracker.com, let me close this over here and open this right over here for you guys. If we go look at Syx, which came out a while ago, he has a kind of same ideal here, where he's super powerful, 61.71 multiplier. He's got 25,000 strength. That was good back then. But he uses all gauges regardless of skill. So no matter what, you could have 100 gauges on your keyblade. They're all gone, you know what I mean? And he does more damage the more gauges used, so you have to use at least 10 or more to get that max multiplier. But even so, a small multiplier is pretty good. He does have buffs and debuffs, but like, they bring metals like this out all the time, where they have an issue with them. They take away your gauges, and you have to like fix your whole keyblade. And they tend to be really good if you have other metals to complement them, but it's a heavy cost for a keyblade setup. You have to pull for the right metals, have the right supernovas, have the right extra attacks on the right buffers, so on and so on, just to make these metals work out. Now, there's other ways to do it. Is it worth it? It all depends on your account. For me personally, I'm gonna skip on this, because Pirate Sora was definitely something I didn't go for. I wanted it, but I did manage to beat all the content without it. So there is that. And again, these work really good as friend metals. So if your friends pull it, you have the power regardless. So let me know if you guys are going for this metal. This is Baymax, Dark Baymax actually, which is really awesome. I love the metal's animation. I love the metal the way it looks. But again, to be practical with the amount of jewels I have currently, I'm probably going to skip on this and just wait till I get lucky down the line like everybody else does. Oh, look, I pulled for this metal and I got this metal. So let me know if you guys are going for this down below. If I miss anything, do correct me down there. It is possible, and we are all human. And if you guys have any advice that you want to give the community, I have a Discord, comment section, spread the love. If you guys did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.